Welcome, Guardians, to the 47th episode of the DTR podcast. I am your host, Jay, content manager here at DTR. And joining me this week are my wonderful co-hosts. First up, we have Dan Finity. What's up, Dan?
Hey, not much. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Next up, we have Rathos.
Heyo. Another day.
Nice. Jay Ram Sally cannot join us at the beginning of the show, but he may join us towards the middle or end of the show. We would just see. Alright, our guest this week is Ramez05. What's up, man?
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us this week.
No problem.
Sweet. We have a ton of stuff to talk about as always, guys. But first, I will dive straight into our announcements. So, you guys can find us on iTunes, Podbean, and the Google Play Store at Destiny Tracker Podcast. We do record the show every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on twitch.tv/DestinyTrack. If you guys would like to support the show, you guys can subscribe on iTunes and make sure to leave a review and follow us on Podbean because your feedback is super, super important to us. Also, guys, our giveaway with the Mega Destiny McFarlane toy giveaway is now over. The winner has been emailed. We don't want to give away the winner's name live because we don't want to give away their personal name. But that.
What about his social security number?
We can. Nah, I'm kidding. Well, yeah.
Next time.
All right,
Next time.
All right, next time. All right, that sounds good.
But next week we are starting up another giveaway for our 1-year anniversary here on the podcast, guys. I can't believe it's been a year. We've been doing the show for a year. Thank you, Dan and Rathos, for joining us here on the show.
Of course.
Absolutely.
We are giving away something awesome. Something is coming out in Destiny in October. So wink, we're giving something away. So
Nice.
I'm excited for that. That giveaway will actually start next week. And then we have a whole lineup of guests, that are awesome guests. But I'm not going to reveal them tonight. We're going to wait until next week to reveal them. So yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Keep us in suspense, huh?
Yeah,
Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, it's also TwitchCon is coming up, so I just want to make sure it's locked and
Yeah. loaded.
So it's still a great list. Trust
Is that a hint? Is that a hint?
I don't know. I don't know. You guys can use our promo code DTR for 10% off your Gamer Subs GG order and 15% off your Clutch Chairs order. Dan, man, are you on the highway?
No, but there is the ending of Spider-Man is happening right above my house.
Okay.
Oh,
So
geez.
just hold on
Okay.
one second. The plane is going over, and
It's
all right, cool. Spider-Man's winning.
Okay.
Yay.
Sweet. Oh, you're talking about. Okay. Was that a spoiler to the. Anyway, yeah. All right, Ramsey, I am going to throw it over to you, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do here in the community?
I mostly do PvE content, mostly raids, PvP here and there, but not so much. And try to make everyone happier. That's what I do.
Nice. So, how did you get into streaming?
How would I get into streaming? In between looking for jobs, I was just playing a game called DC Universe Online. I was really good at that game.
Oh, wow.
So eventually, it came out on PS4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so good at that game that people just were asking for me to stream it so they could learn. And so I was like, okay, I'll just stream it. So I streamed from PS4, and I built a little following there. From there, I got bored of the game and had nothing else to play, and then heard about a game called Destiny, and so I was like, okay, I'll try this out. And from there, I just started streaming it, and eventually, I'd finish everything I needed to do for myself, and I'd be bored, and then people just started asking for like help doing things, and so I was like, okay, I'll help. And then they just kept coming, and then. And then eventually they wanted help with the raid, and I was like, okay. So I started helping with the raid and stuff, and it turned out to be actually really fun and really cool helping and teaching people.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, I did find a job, but I was so successful streaming on Twitch that I quit it 2 weeks afterwards. I just pursued full-time here streaming
Nice.
Destiny and stuff. So worked
So
out.
what was the first raid that you ran?
Vault of Glass. I was actually the first person to really ever attempt a viewer raids.
That's awesome.
It was kind of crazy doing it. Like the idea of like raiding with random people that you've never met before was something like never before thought of in the directory, and now it's like commonplace.
That's excellent.
All right, sweet. Now, Dan and Rathos, I know you guys like to help people out in PvE activities and the raids, so I know you guys have tons of questions. So, Dan, you're up first, man.
Sure. So what's your favorite encounter in the new raid?
It's definitely Gauntlet, but it's also the hardest one to do and to teach, but it's also the funnest one. And also not to mention that there's 2 completely different ways you can do it.
Yeah.
Maybe you haven't seen. And so if you're not used to one, you may not be able to fully comprehend the other and stuff.
I actually did not know that.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know there was 2 ways.
Well,
there's multiple ways.
Yeah, there's the method where you, like, everyone runs around the room with the runners, and the other method is just being static on the plate.
Oh, that's the one I know of, just standing on the plate. I never knew people, like, rotate around the room with the runner.
Yeah, that's how I've been playing it.
Really?
Yeah, see?
Oh.
There's 2 completely different methods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
So it's really fun, but it's tough to learn, though. But once you do learn it, it's really fun. There's a good rhythm to it.
How many hunters are you running?
My God, so much.
Well, back in D1, I was the person who had 3 hunters. Eventually deleted one to make a warlock. Now I touch my hunter once a week. Titan Master Race.
Oh,
I don't know about that, sir.
Yeah, that's
I might have to quit as a host.
It's just everything's like, now that you can like use your supers like effectively in PvE without just getting curb stomped by the boss.
Yeah.
You know, just Titan slamming is so fun, and the double pulse nades is so fun and effective.
The double pulse is overpowered.
Yeah,
significantly.
it really is.
Yeah.
But they're so fun to run.
And lastly, how many times have you run the newest raid?
I have exactly 49 completions, start to finish.
Holy cow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice. Any more questions, Dan?
I'm good on that.
right.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Rathos.
What is your favorite of the public events so far?
Favorite of the public events? Oh, that's tough. I've never thought of that. Probably the Glimmer one. The
Glimmer Extraction?
Glimmer Extraction, probably.
Okay. And favorite planet to go and visit? Or planetoid, I should say.
Definitely EDZ for sure. Definitely. I feel it's the most unique looking one. I mean, Io just reminds me too much of Venus. Titan reminds me too much of Metal Gear, and the
Titan
other one
feels
again,
limited. Yeah.
Nessus reminds me of kind of reminds me of just Io, but with trees. So EDZ, it just feels more at home and more diverse, even though it is on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely EDZ.
Sounds good. Who's your favorite NPC?
Favorite NPC? Does Failsafe count as an NPC?
Yes.
Okay, then Failsafe.
Failsafe counts. I like that answer.
Failsafe is my spirit animal. For sure.
I love Failsafe. What is your go-to weapon? Obviously, you're running a Titan pretty heavily, it sounds like. What's your go-to weapon?
Probably Sunshot. Of all the exotics I've used, like, Sunshot seems to be the go-to for everything. It's Fatebringer on steroids, I feel.
True.
Yeah.
And final question. Favorite piece of armor? And you can go with Titan, Hunter, Warlock, all the above.
Favorite piece of armor. The Titan helmet. What is it called? Mask of the Silent, I think.
Mm-hmm.
One that gives you the ridiculous looking horns. Those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I play a
void-based
striker, and they're meant for sentinels, but I just love the way they look. They're just so ridiculously over the top. So I love using those.
That works. All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
It looks like you're a fawn from like Myth that just has.
It reminds me of something out of Dark Souls, honestly. It really
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
All right. I do have a question. What is your favorite strike in the game?
Favorite strike.
There's only 5.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's only 5.
There's one
Well,
I actually
6
haven't
on
played.
PlayStation. 6.
I've been playing all the strikes, and people keep telling me about that one phalanx strike, and I still haven't gotten to play it, even like on the playlist somehow. Done like
So,
20
what
strikes
strike?
and haven't played it yet. Apparently, the one with the taken phalanx. I still haven't played
That's a
that.
PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, it's a PlayStation exclusive. The blighted. What's it called?
Mm-hmm. I just hate the Taken.
Really, I play
Really?
mostly on PS4, and I still haven't played it. But
It's-
of the
it's
ones I played, probably the Pyramidium. Yeah,
Mhm.
that one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's a good one.
I think that's my favorite strike. I honestly dislike Exodus Crash. I'm not a fan of that.
Is that the disappearing hunter or
Yes,
fallen dude?
Vandal,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that guy's annoying.
Yeah, it's not a fun strike at all.
Yeah.
Lake of Shadows is the name of that taken one.
Oh.
Like a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, since we already started talking about the Pyramidion, let's dive straight into our weekly activities. Let's talk about the Nightfall this week. So, did you guys complete the Nightfall?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet. Did you guys? So, what was your experience like? Ramos, you first, man. Ramsey. Wait, how do you pronounce your name again? I'm sorry.
Ramez.
There's a
Ramez. I'm
couple
sorry.
different-
It's really late.
Ramez.
Okay.
Ramez.
very good. All right. Yeah. Go for it.
Either way. It was really fun not having to worry about like running out of time,
extension.
you know? Spamming OP pulse grenades is always fun too. So, yeah, it was definitely fun. Definitely more fun than last week's. I mean, last week's like couldn't even do the prestige version because it was glitched. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I definitely enjoyed myself.
Sweet. Rate those.
Pyramidion was the first of the strikes that I ever encountered, and actually in week 1, for some reason, Destiny 2 absolutely hated me because every time I loaded up into the strike playlist, that's all I ever got. So for the first week, I had played that strike, I want to say maybe 20 times.
Wow.
Every single time I load it up, it's like Pyramidion. I'm like, can I get something else? I know there's other strikes. Nope, Pyramidion, period. So I got it down pat. And when I hear, oh, hey, it's the Nightfall, I'm like, do I really want to do this again? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So diving into it, I still enjoyed it. I think it's very Vault of Glassy, we're going to say. Very much like the Vogue. And I like the feel of that. I like how you're climbing ever deeper into the Pyramidion. And the boss fight isn't so much of a nuisance to me. I know he's got the barriers and whatnot and the slight bit of teleportation, but I like the feel of the fight, personally.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a well-designed strike, and plus, I love that one quote when Ikora mentions Osiris. Like that, really.
Yes.
I love that. I think as one of the first times, someone's probably gonna say I'm wrong, that we've heard the name Osiris in game, right? Well, not like from a major character, not like Brother Vance or someone, not like from a major prominent character. No.
I think you might have mentioned him while you're running around on Io, but
Ooh, Asher
that's
Mirror?
Osiris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Dan.
The Pyramidion strike this week. Sorry, my thing cut out.
Yeah.
I had it was a lot of fun. Went in. I think the fastest I beat it was like with 6 minutes to go. So this was another Rat King week.
Still is. Still is.
Yeah, still is. Other than that, like I enjoyed all the encounters. The Hobgoblin boss, just trying to make it to the 2 plates before he like went rampage in the middle. That was really fun. But other than that, yeah, I enjoyed it. I still need to try Prestige. That's the only thing that I need in order to platinum the game. So far.
I also haven't done a Prestige mode on any of the Nightfalls, but.
Well, I think I know what Ray and I are going to be doing later.
Well,
this is the Nightfall to do it. I feel like you'd have the easiest time doing it this Nightfall.
Yeah. But yeah, it's other than that, I've been enjoying running it so far.
Sweet. I think I'm gonna wait to get the Prestige trophy until the Prestige mode of the raid actually launches. I feel like I say that because like I've attempted the Prestige mode of the Nightfall plenty of times, and we always get up to the boss fight. The boss almost dead. 10 seconds left. Then you can't kill it. So it's just like I'll wait until the raid comes out.
So you're gonna wait for the harder thing.
Yup.
That makes perfect sense.
Hey, you gotta go.
Brilliant.
I mean, like,
If you are below 300 power level, the Prestige is significantly harder. And once you're above it, it's not as bad.
I actually finally hit 304 today, so yay!
Nice.
Yeah, all my characters are above 300, so yay! I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But what is your power level?
And patrolling.
So, what is your power level, guys? Rate those. You first, man.
My Titan's sitting at a good 304. My Warlock is sitting at 295, just because I started playing with him earlier this week, and my Hunter is only level 6, and I started him yesterday. So
you waited long to do a Hunter. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Ramez.
305 on my Hunter, 304 on my Titan. I think my Warlock is 302, 303. I think. Yeah.
All right. And Dan?
I'm solid 290s, like in the 290 to like 298 range on all 3 of my characters right now. And that's just because I've been kind of slacking. Enjoying my time. Enjoying my time, just being like, oh, look at this tree. Oh. And then shooting the tree and not getting any experience out of it.
Okay. But I was going to say, like, even if I play this game now, I've toned down on being like the hardcore player, and even if you play casually, you're still gonna reach like 300s, like even though so I feel that's an issue too for some players. It depends. I
think it's too easy to level up.
But
I don't.
Yeah,
think
what do you mean?
I don't think it's too easy to level up. I feel that RNGCast blesses who he favors and doesn't bless those he just decides to frown upon. Myself being one of those, of the latter. For me,
that was always the case.
Yeah, it's always the case. But like RNGCast just him and I aren't friends, and I've tried being friends with him, and he just doesn't agree with me. I've been cracking engrams nonstop, and I've never had anything crack higher than what it was. Like legendary, rare, always the same exact thing. Never like crack a legendary and get an exotic or anything. And the whole like, oh hey, this powerful gear is supposed to be 1, maybe 2 to 3 points higher than your current gear. Awesome, great. It's the same every single time.
Well,
I don't get powerful gear. I get same gear. I get your light level, period. So that climb is a really slow climb for me.
well, from the engrams you get from milestones, those are supposed to be significantly higher than your level.
Yeah. Those have been what I've been using to crank up.
Yeah, that's true. Like, let me rephrase my stance on that. I feel it's like once your first character is already like high leveled up and you create a second character, my Warlock literally went from I think 200 to 280 in the matter of seconds.
Well, that's because you could bounce over items as soon, like any weapon,
though.
you can bounce over immediately as soon as they hit that 20 level cap. And that just makes it so much easier for their armor to just ping up really fast. And if you're not doing those milestones and focusing on that powerful gear, like waiting to redeem it at a later time, yeah, they're going to level up really freaking fast.
That's true.
But do you consider that a good or a bad thing?
Well, it's still like D1 where you can bounce around your weapons to your other characters. As soon as they hit that level cap, that's what it's there for, to help them get to that higher light or that higher power level, if you will. I feel that, you know, the limitation being the armor. 10, I'll say 9 times out of 10, even though I want to say 10 times out of 10, you crack an engram, it's going to be a gun. And very rarely do I ever see armor drops on any of my characters. So that whole, hey, give them really powerful offense, not so much a defense, that definitely is playing into the fact that, hey, the climb is going to be a little bit slower, but it's still doable for those characters.
I think that's also part of the fact that they don't give you armor materials anymore, and it's just weapon materials. So you'll always be getting more weapons than armor because of that. There's no specific place that just no specific vendor that just gives armor. It's just a weapon though. There's just Banshee, and this gives weapons. So it'll slow down armor progression as well.
Maybe they'll give us a armor person as well instead of just a gunsmith. Armor smith would be nice.
Maybe they'll put that person on the farm so it's actually worth going to.
Aside from, you know, the jumping puzzles or just interacting with a newer player, or, hey, I made a new character. I'm at the farm again. I remember this place.
I feel like they hyped up the farm so much, which I will admit the tower was a great surprise, but the farm is such a cool place. Like, it's beautiful. I love the view. I love the environment, but now it's like irrelevant.
Okay, here's a question though. How many of you all played soccer in the farm?
Me? The first time I loaded in.
Now, how many of you played soccer in the tower?
Me
a billion times.
When the first time I loaded in I went straight to the soccer field to like play with people, and it was always empty. No one there. Everyone's just there for business, you know? No one's there to have fun.
Everybody's got their suit and tie on.
We're supposed to have fun here.
Yeah, that's supposed to have fun. It's a video game, guys. Yeah. Dan,
now, how many of you actually played or put up the barriers while playing soccer in the tower?
I just learned about that on Wednesday.
It's okay, man. I just learned that you're able to summon in your ship like 30 minutes ago. I just learned that in the tower.
You can do what?
Wait,
You
what?
can-
Yeah. If
guys
you
didn't
go
know
to
that?
the hangar, if you go to the hangar, across from where you walk into the hangar, so past Holiday, there's a couple of bays on the far side. There's an actual kiosk that you press an old square and it says summon your ship, and if you step back, your ship will fly in and hover there for a moment, and then it'll fly back out.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Pretty chill.
I just learned the other day on Titan you can actually use your Sparrow. I just learned that.
Yep. It's not very practical considering, hey, we're all...
I never thought of actually using it because it's so small there.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about faction rallies, guys. Just in case this conversation gets heated.
And why Future War Cult is the superior faction?
All right, Dan, I knew I liked you. Ramez, what are you?
Future War Cult.
Okay, that's why I like you too, Wraithos. You're shaking your head, man. Shaking your head.
I'm going a different faction per character.
Okay.
New Monarchy for my Titan because I like how that armor looks on the Titan. I am doing Future War Cult on my Warlock, and I'm doing Dead Orbit with my Hunter as soon as he reaches level 20.
Now.
Okay, yeah, but who do you believe in?
Yeah.
So
himself.
My own capabilities. No, going back to D1, I was a huge supporter of the Future War Cult. And so I like the gun that New Monarchy is going to be giving if they win. But
sidearm?
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I mean,
high
like,
caliber rounds and fully auto. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna pack a huge punch, honestly.
That's if you get close enough to the person using Mida.
There's other things than Mida in this damn game. There really are. Like the sweet business, for example. Which I have not gotten.
Really?
My game seems a little. Mine seems a little buggy because when I look at
it says you have it in the collections, right?
Yeah, it says I have it in my collections, but it's not in collections, and I haven't been able to at all, which I think is kind of weird.
So, how do you guys feel that these faction rallies is not per, like, you can't do one faction per account, it's one per character? I think that totally beats the whole focus of faction rallies, in my opinion, of course. I feel like, because then it's like you could help out each faction. Like me, my Warlock and my Titan are Dead Orbit and New Monarchy, so I'm not going to do anything on those characters because I want them to lose.
But you're speaking for the person who has 3 characters and not for the person who maybe only has 1. Like, I don't know. As the game has become more casual and more new player balanced, they're probably looking at like only 1 character. Maybe this will have them be like, oh man, if I get 2 characters, I could get that gun for 1,000 glimmer instead of paying 50,000 like I did last time, like an idiot. And then like they just start crying.
But here's my question: if you have 3 characters, and of course one of the characters is gonna win a faction, can't you just transfer the gun between each character? Doesn't
Absolutely.
that still defeat the whole purpose? Yes,
and that's how you beat the system.
You have to play multiple characters at that point.
That's true.
If you are the, let's say casual player with only 1 character who maybe signs on every couple of days just because, oh, hey, I'm feeling the need to play some Destiny 2, that person might feel like they're losing out because, hey, my faction didn't win, so now what am I going to do? Kind of a thing.
Even if that's the case, shouldn't that... I'm still thinking, if you only have 1 character, then if they're thinking about it in that way, then shouldn't they have just made it account-based? If a casual only has 1 character?
No, because here's the thing. It comes back to if you're a casual player and you only have 1 faction that you can dedicate to because you only have 1 character that is up to snuff, you can still go and buy those guns from the other factions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's just, it might be
$49,000
more expensive.
Right.
But you can still get that same gun. So you're not going to feel left out on the loot pool. And if you're a casual player, you might not know, oh, hey, this is going to cost me $50K. Whereas somebody such as ourselves who has 3 characters who's assigned to each faction is like, oh, hey, I'm going to get that for 1,000 and save myself a bunch of glimmer and use that on my mods later, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
No. Do you piss off the hardcore audience though by making it account based though? 1 faction per account. Would you piss off people by doing that though?
I wouldn't miss that at all.
I wouldn't miss it either. I feel like a lot of people would be pissed.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Because I don't mean to cut you off, Dan. Sorry.
Okay, no sweat. It's fine. No, from what I'm seeing, like people are looking for like things to hunt for right now. Like we're about 4 weeks out, no random rolls, and the people who are playing the game almost exclusively on their channels are running out of things to grab. So maybe if it was account based, it would lend a little extra to that hunt. I don't know. You can still buy the other guns though. If they completely locked you out from buying them, I could see that being more enticing that way. But
if it were account wide, hypothetically,
okay.
Day 1, so literally Tuesday, when Faction Rallies went live, I had earned over 250 faction tokens on my Titan within 3 hours.
Wow.
And that right there, I mean, it takes 20 to level up. That's already 10 levels in New Monarchy. And I've heard, I can't confirm this, but I heard like there's a internal cap at level 30 for a faction where instead of getting gear, you'll start getting just shaders. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. What if I don't get all the armor pieces by then? What if I don't get all the guns by then? And
you'll have the next month.
Yeah, but that's a full month away. And now if I have a second character that's automatically locked into New Monarchy, hey, I've gained my 30 levels on my Titan. Let me just go ahead and take these 2,000 tokens that I now have sitting around that I don't really have a need for because I have umpteen million shaders. Let me go ahead and throw them on my Warlock. Oh, hey, he's instantly level 30. Oh, hey, throw him on my Hunter. Oh, hey, he's instantly level 30. It limits you on that aspect. So account wide for a faction, I would say no go. Definitely allow us to have the faction per character at that point.
But think about this way. If it was account wide, then wouldn't that motivate you to really make sure your faction would win so you don't have to pay 50,000 glimmer to get that weapon?
Well, for the casual gamer, yes. But for the more hardcore such as ourselves, you don't care how much the gun's going to cost in the long run. Hey, if your faction wins, awesome, great. Yeah, you get it at a discounted price. If your faction doesn't win, guess what? You're sitting on 100,000 glimmer anyway. What else are you going to use it on?
That's true.
Mods.
Ramez?
Mods. That's where all my money is right
Putting
now.
shaders on your ships and Sparrow, that is really expensive. So
shaders and mods, that's where all my money goes. And most of it is going into mods at this point. But even then, I'm capping out my glimmer every couple of days, and then I just go spend it on mods and then just repeat the process.
I do the Jay and Silent Bob dance every time I buy like a new mod. Like mods, shaders. It's great.
It's like, I understand, like, I see the point of view that this is, I hate to say, a casual game, and I see your point of view, but it's just, maybe I just wanted a different way. I don't know if that's me being selfish or something like that. I don't know, it's just...
How do you feel about the engrams being capped at 30 for gears and weapon? How do you feel about that?
I feel it should not have a cap. I personally... I'm not now, when I say this, I'm not thinking about the casual player. I'm thinking about from a content creator perspective, because I saw some, I'm not going to say all, but some were kind of mad that it has a cap on it at 30. Because like Raythos said, what if you don't get the whole armor set? Because it is RNG. Like, I've gotten 3 hand cannons. I'm rank 7. I got 3 hand cannons for my future work cult. So,
and mind you, there's only, the full set of armor. There's the helmet, arms, chest, legs, and your, class item. So there's only 5 there, but that's 25 levels that you're going to be getting duplicates, obviously. That's 25 levels that you'll probably even miss out on a piece. I've been pumping New Monarchy up like crazy on my Titan. I've gotten 6 of the assault rifles, kinetic and energy. So it's like, hey, I'm good on assault rifles. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love assault rifles, but I want the armor, and armor's always been kind of tough in D2.
I wouldn't be for a cap if it wasn't so easy to get the tokens.
Yeah.
The issue with like it being unlimited engrams is you'd be able to get so much more loot faster than any other way in the game, and I think that's something they definitely need to look into. People grinding 600 tokens in 1 hour to be able to get how many engrams? Imagine if there was no cap, it would be unlimited loot. Well, I was leveling up on Xbox, and having the faction rally stuff made leveling up so much easier, just having access to all these legendary engrams right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, like, if you had unlimited access to engrams leveling up, you'd be leveling up even faster than normal. You know?
Mm-hmm. So, Ramez, what have you been using to farm for these factions?
I've been trying not to just go overboard on it. I just do public events when I can. I'm trying not to just turn the game into a grind. There's so much different things I can do to get tokens, and I'm not in any rush to like just farm them all and get everything. Honestly, so I've just been doing public events.
You're avoiding that cave on IO for faction.
Yeah, I just do public events when I can and stuff, and that's it. And like the challenges.
Do you like the new pseudo public event of enemy is dropping supplies?
That I like a lot. I don't.
It is cool. Yeah.
That I like.
I like it.
And do you enjoy the fact that even if you don't complete a public event as heroic, you still get 4, but if it is heroic, it becomes 8? What do you think of that payout?
I'm fine with that, but I think it needs to be I think everything else needs to be balanced to where it rewards an equal amount. So either nerfing public events and other content or buffing up everything else like strikes and raids and stuff. Like, because completing the raid only gives you only 16 tokens for at least an hour minimum of doing work. 16 tokens.
Yeah.
So
really quickly, I want to introduce J Rambo. Welcome, man. Welcome
Hey, sorry
Hey,
I'm late, guy.
J-Ram.
I was getting a new cell phone, and it took a little bit longer than what I initially anticipated.
It's fine.
What'd you end up getting?
I was gonna go with the iPhone 7, but then they gave me one hell of a deal, so I got the 8 Plus 256 gig.
Wow.
Ballin', ladies. You want to date a guy with an awesome phone? You gotta talk to my wife first.
Talk to his wife first, and then go talk to him.
Yeah,
if you can get past her.
But no, it's great to be here. You know, hello everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Just to catch you
Ramez.
up. Oh.
Did any? Is it Ramez, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
I love your hair, man.
Thank you. I actually have it tied up. I tie my hair up on weekends. So
I'm so jealous right now because I cannot do that, obviously. I've lost that ability to regenerate hair 10 years ago.
Nice to have you here, man.
Thanks, man.
Just to catch you up, we're talking about faction rallies, our opinions and first impressions. So you're free to go. What is your opinion on the faction rallies?
You know, I like it because it brings the community together. You know, I've been grinding out a lot of, and I hate using that word grinding. I know a lot of people are using that. So let me restate it. I've been playing a lot of public events and everything with my clan, which is awesome. Doing a lot of talking and everything. You know, reminiscing about the good old days in D1 where you didn't have to wait to get faction stuff. You know, just little things like that. I heard, now maybe you guys can explain this to me. There's a cap.
Yes. We were just discussing that
earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, and the cap is it 60
It's 30.
engrams?
30.
30. Now, is that 30 per faction, or J Rambo 9119? You get 30 total. Doesn't matter who you are and what faction you belong to.
I believe it's 30 per character. So it's not per faction, because I have a Titan with New Monarchy. I have a Warlock with Future War Cult. So he's going to get 30 levels in Future War Cult, and my Titan's going to get 30 levels in New Monarchy. Now, if I decide to take my Hunter the route of New Monarchy, I don't think Bungie would limit a character to say, hey, you don't get Jack because you've already ranked 30 levels in New Monarchy as a Titan, because your characters' levels are all independent of each other. If you go under Destiny Item Manager and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it'll tell you what your faction rank is, but not with the actual factions, not with Future War Cult, New Monarchy, or Deado, but like with Banshee, my Titan is level 70 some odd, and my other characters, just because, you know, I haven't played them that much, are maybe like 12 and 6.
Okay.
Right, those. Wait, you said on Dim it doesn't show you the faction? What?
It wasn't showing me factions before. I don't know if they've updated it recently, but
Destiny
when I was
Tracker
looking,
tracks that.
I'm sure,
faction.
and I'm sure. But like when I was using Dim the other day, I scrolled down to the bottom. I'm like, oh hey, what's this? And I remember they were tracking it with Destiny 1. I'm like, okay, this is probably just my factions or whatever. And I hovered over it, and it said, your level with Banshee is stupid. I'm like, okay, I'll lay off with my Titan for a while.
Yeah, no, I'm really digging it. You know, because it's one of those things that I was kind of griping about previously, which is like we want more end game stuff to do. So I'm okay with it. I dig it. It gets me out there. It gets me playing. The only thing is, They need to adjust the reward somehow. Because like when you do a Nightfall, you get, what is it, 4 tokens or 8? That's the same as if you do a Heroic Public event. You tell me which one's easier.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. And that's what I mean? Ramez was saying right there.
Yeah, the raid only gives 16. That's
the
payout's not worth it. If
right.
You're
it
doing
should,
the raid.
It should scale to difficulty. But other than that, like I said, it's fun. I don't know. The drops are fine with me. I'm not going to use any of the weapons only because I've found the ones I like. And I'm going to stick with them. I'm old school that way. So
I hear you there.
Ghost Primus, Scaithlock, Uriel's Gift, and the raid rocket launcher. That's all I use, and I'm fine with that. That's me. Yes.
J-Ram is the type of guy that uses the hammer that was given to him when he was 16 years old by his grandfather.
Hey, if it
What's wrong with
there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what you like and you use it well.
Change is scary,
Damn right I use it well. But no, I'm cool with it. I just wish they would do something about the shaders. Because I don't want to use the shaders on the equipment that I'm not going to keep. That's my only thing. That's my only thing. It would be cool if I could maybe have the option to buy the shaders.
Just bring it down into Glimmer.
Yeah.
Just call it good for now.
Well, what I'm lacking to understand, and maybe somebody can explain it to me, is when we go to these factions, or even if we go to the Vanguard or Shaxx, why don't we have the option to buy some of this equipment like we did in D1? Like, that would be really cool. And it would give me something to strive for, because I could see it. There's that carrot that we've always been talking about. If you can see it, you can go and try to obtain it.
I think that's another issue with the end game content right now.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. So we'll keep the factions then. Yeah. Factions, I'm loving it. FWC for life.
Yes.
Yes. Hopefully they win, because looks like a lot of people are going for Dead Orbit.
Well, okay. Let's talk about this. All right. I was seeing a lot of people who were just like, I got my eyeliner ready for Tuesday, and then they saw the weapons that Future War Cult was dropping,
and
they went full on Rainbow Squad. It was awesome.
I'm liking the hand cannon. I like it. I'm digging it.
I got the scout rifle that goes into the energy slot, and ooh, it's nice. It's very nice.
Oh, you said the scout rifle? Sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
Yeah, scout rifle is really good.
I want it. Yeah. That's the only weapon I am missing. Yeah.
What's it called? It's called the Pleiades Corrector, and it has high caliber rounds, flared magwell, rampage, and 2 sights on it. I'm not going to go into those.
Because, go figure.
Yeah. Speaking of high caliber rounds, let's talk about the Trials of the Nine. Trials of the Nine, guys. Last week's map was the first. That's this first week. It was Countdown on. I don't even know the map's name. That's how much I played Trials, because I hate that map.
Yeah, I agree.
Eternity, I think it was. Yeah.
Something
that's the map,
like
right?
that.
Yeah. Ramez, we do play a little game here on the show where we guess how many kills basically the Mida received in Trials of the Nine last weekend. Hint, it is in the millions. This is kind of like The Price is Right. I'm guessing you have seen The Price is Right. Yes?
I've seen it, yeah. It's been It's been like 10 years, but I've seen it.
But you have the idea.
Yeah. It's
you know the conceit.
Okay.
The lowest number you can bid, of course, is 1, and the highest number is 20 million, because, hint, it's in the millions. Or you could be like Dan and say 1 and win.
I said 1 last week because I was just like, I don't even know.
So, were we betting on this current week or last week's?
Last week's.
Last week's, okay.
Yeah, it's on the same
one
map,
that
same mode, yeah. So, to show you how this goes, J-Ram, you are up first.
I'm going to go with 17 million.
All right, 17. Rathos.
I'm going to go with 6.5 million.
All right. Ramez.
Do you guys know how many kills were last week?
Yes, I do. Well, I do,
don't
but
remember.
They don't. I do, but they don't.
Okay, so I'm thinking it was whatever it was. I'm thinking I'm gonna go 9 million.
9 million. All right, and Dan.
Gonna go 15.1.
15.1. All right.
Yes.
So Mida received 17.9 million.
Ooh.
Wow.
17.9
Oh.
million euros, yeah. And
Well,
Mida.
I'm definitely going to an island with a lot of hot chicks. 17.9 million.
first.
Yeah, 17.9
And
million.
Mida.
I believe the first week was what, 20 million? I think it was something like that last
Something.
week. Yeah. It
Well,
was-
let's put the-
So that
Put it in
means less
perspective.
people are using it. That's a good thing.
What
Yeah.
what came in second place, Jay?
the prosecutor. That's the
With?
Charles Auto Rifle. 6.5.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
You would have thought it would be Euro's gift since it has high
Oh,
caliber. Does
that's
the Trials one
third
have high
place.
caliber rounds too?
Yeah.
It does.
Oh, okay.
That's in
Oh, the
third
Trials
place.
one. I don't know if the Trials
Oh,
one
I-
does.
Oh, I thought you knew. Uriel's gift is in third place with 6.1, and then it's Last Hope at 1.9. So that's just to put it.
Wow.
So the top.
Oh.
So you got Mida first, and then the next three guns still don't add up to Mida.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
no.
we can look at this in one of two situations. A, we need to do something about this Mida multi-tool, or B,
let's
High caliber rounds.
Yeah.
well, yeah, high caliber rounds, or B, maybe because last week if it was so high, if it was 20 million and now it's 17, maybe people are starting to find
Oh, there
the
goes.
different types of guns that can counteract with that.
Yeah.
And right now
Or-
it's on a downswing. You get what I'm saying?
A lot of people didn't want to play that map in mode again.
Well,
That's
there's
True. Not as well.
I don't think-
there's another factor here though. So you have the people who are using Mida multi-tool because it's easy to use and easy to access.
Correct.
And it's
it's
what they know.
hard to get at all.
Yeah, everybody can get it. It's a fair playing field. Everybody can get it right from the game. You have the people who found the guns that they like, and then you have the people who probably have outfitted their gear so that they aren't stacked on mobility and actually are using resilience and recovery to counteract some of the effects that the other guns are having.
Has that actually been proven to be effective? Stacking resilience and recovery that much?
If Fallout Plays put out a video last week, or I think it was either earlier this week or last week, and if you stack your recovery, I'll have to find it here and post the link in chat. But it's pretty remarkable the change that recovery does. Now, when it comes to resilience, it adds little increments of health to you, and so it does take more hits in order to take you down with, say, a Mida multi-tool. Let me grab it.
There was a clip I saw, I want to say a day or two ago, and it was from last Trials of the Nine, and it was a guy who turned around the corner, and he had, what was it, like 1.02 seconds to react to being team shot by Mida, and was instantly dead. Just like turned the corner,
Yeah.
four of them all had him just
That-
scoped,
that.
and it was
I
just
saw
That clip has been going around,
I'm
and I have a lot of
like,
issues
wow.
with that clip because people are complaining that that the meta is bad because of that. If this was D1, he would have just been sniped. He would have died even
Yeah.
faster. So
Yeah.
That's true.
But
It's
still,
like-
watching that's definitely a squad that's really used to and knows how each other works, and they know the maps when it comes down to
Yeah.
that. So I'm not a PvP kind of guy. I don't like playing, trials or whatnot, but I'll obviously play a round or two just to try and get through a ticket or whatever. But the fact still is like, I see that, I'm like, yeah, I don't even want to touch Crucible now.
I don't think Mida is overpowered. I'm gonna use air quotes on that, as people say it is. Again, like Dan said earlier, I think the issue is the high caliber rounds, and also they don't need to nerf it. They need to kind of figure out a way to fix high caliber rounds. And Mida is popular because it's easy to acquire.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just super easy to acquire. Everyone started using it, and now that's why it's so everyone's getting killed by it left and right in the Crucible. But like Bungie said in the TWAB this week, there are much better weapons than the Mida out there. So I think complaining on Twitter and everywhere on Reddit saying nerf Mida is just not going to help you.
Yeah.
Use other weapons. Get good, as basically what John Wisniewski said.
I think other people are having an issue where it's like it's a year one gun that is at the top of the meta again.
Now,
and not something from D2.
I will say, was it smart for them to bring back Might and put high caliber rounds on it? No, I don't think so. I don't think it was smart for them to bring that weapon back. But it's in the games, and I would have to deal with it. But again, it's just high caliber rounds is the issue, because high caliber rounds are on other weapons, and it really staggers you in PvP. Now, it is good in PvE, but in PvP, it's not fun to fight against.
Yeah.
It's just not fun.
The thing is about the Mida as well is, like, what are your other options as far as exotic weapons? Like, besides Mida, what are you going to use instead? Are you going to use Sunshot? Like, at its limited range?
I've been using Vigilant Swing, and I really enjoy that pulse rifle a lot. I think it's pretty
good. 5-round bursts.
Yeah.
Guys, the solution to the problem is simple. You got to split PvE and PvP weapon types.
Yeah. And I thought they were going to do that.
That's easier said than done, but they have to be balanced in two different worlds. They're not.
Yeah.
That's why we're still stuck with the same issue. Because if you remember D1, Mida Multitool originally had the high caliber rounds. Then they got rid of them. Why are they back then? They knew it was a problem then.
Exactly.
Why transfer the problem into this one? And like I said, maybe we're jumping too far into the deep end already, because this game has been out less than a month. People are starting to figure things out, all that good stuff. But the fact of the matter is, it's there, and it has to be dealt with.
Yeah.
I don't think the solution is nerfing Mida. I think removing high caliber rounds is a good compromise. But I think a better solution would be making other weapons more viable, like pulse rifles and hand cannons, which feel incredibly underpowered to scouts and auto rifles.
How often does Bungie buff anything?
In this game yet?
In
their past.
They don't buff anything.
Yeah.
The only thing they buffed was an auto rifle, but it was 0.04%.
I mean, Nova Bomb got a 50% damage increase in April update.
Yeah, but that's not a gun. That's an ability.
Oh.
And guess what? Those are now fixed for your times, essentially. Unless running, the mods that are like, oh, this reduces your grenade, melee, overall cooldowns. And even that, I'm not seeing too much of a change, to be quite honest with you there. My Titan, I mainly run Striker, and I have him set up with the overall mod on helmet, arms, chest, legs, and mark right now, where everything is reduced cooldown, and I don't feel a big difference. Maybe a couple of seconds here and there, but not like, oh hey, I'm getting it back fast enough to just constantly chuck a grenade like you would be able to do in Destiny 1.
Well, as far as buffs go, pulse rifles and hand cannons used to be completely worthless in D1. Then they got buffed, and then nerfed, and then buffed again. And so I got used to using pulse rifles and hand cannons from D1. Now playing D2, I feel completely weak, but I still enjoy using pulse rifles and hand cannons, and the meta is completely shifted. So.
It's. I thought, like, going back to what J Ram said, I thought before the game launched, Luke Smith said that now they have the ability to change PvE weapons and PvP weapons. Like, what's the word? Like, if they nerf high caliber rounds in PvP, it will not affect PvE. Like,
wait, hold on. We need a source on that.
I thought Luke Smith said that.
As far as I know, they have the ability to change individual weapons instead of entire archetypes of weapons.
Right.
Well,
I think Dan's right. I think Dan's absolutely correct, I think.
We've seen it in D1. There was something that they changed that affected PvP but not PvE. There was a weapon.
Okay.
I cannot think of the weapon.
Yeah, but
they
the way
changed.
That's why I'm asking for a source.
Yes. Yeah, Dan, I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
Okay, I will do my homework.
So if we can somebody get that source, nail that down.
I will definitely, Dan,
Well,
I'll throw it over to you, man. Oh wait,
They've proven that they could make changes to weapons in PvE without affecting PvP, like shotguns and sidearms do significantly more damage
I
in
think it
PvE,
was
but it doesn't affect
shotguns, right?
PvP.
It was
Shotguns and
shotguns in D1.
sidearms do way more damage in PvE,
That
they specifically
was
made them stronger.
Yeah, that was the change that they made toward the end of D1, right? For the entire class of that weapon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about specific weapons.
Ooh, I do have a source. I will send you guys the link. Destiny 2's title. Yeah, I'm not even gonna read the title until you guys verify the source.
Yeah.
But,
pop it into the chat on Twitch.
But
For
Dan,
folks to look
do you
over.
mind if I throw it over to you to read our sponsor ad for clutch chairs and gamer subs?
Sponsors? Yeah, we got sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen of the Destiny Tracker community, we are glad to have your support and the support of our sponsors. Are you lagging behind the sticks and in the crucible? Never fear! Our friends at GamerSubs have the drinks you need to keep you competitive. They've restocked their flavors of fan favorites, Dragon Fruit Punch, Acai Berry, and even added a mysterious and delicious new flavor, OP Orange. Use our code DTR to get 10% off these delicious drinks. And guess where you can shake those drinks from? You guessed it, our new friends at Clutch Chairs. Clutch Chairs, the #1 seat for all Guardians, has partnered with us to keep your posterior superior. Use our code DTR for 15% off off your next order. As always, eyes up, Guardians.
Nice, nice.
I'm quite proud of your posterior part. Yeah. I felt really good about that when I wrote it.
Dan, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Nice.
It's always been my German life to sell out. It's always been my German life.
All right,
Well,
guys.
the new OP Orange, I love it. I actually ordered it the day they announced it, and if you ordered it in time, you got this beautiful orange shaker, which works great for it, and has gamer subs printed on the side. I mean, it just works out.
Still have to try that. Still have to order it. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the raid, guys. Have you guys tried the new guided games feature for the raid?
No, I didn't have.
No.
I didn't have 45
I'm gonna
minutes
do
to wait.
that soon.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
gonna do that soon.
huge wait time. Huge wait time. Like
Is it?
45 minutes. To
Wow.
wait
As a seeker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a 45-minute wait time to complete an activity.
And what it is it's like you're queuing up for Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
So once you hit that, you can't get out of that menu. It's not like you can go do patrols and stuff like that while you're waiting. You have to sit there at that screen for 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
That is something they should definitely change then.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's still in beta, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's out of beta.
It's out of beta.
Wait,
yeah.
but it
Oh.
says beta
They
on the screen.
Did they?
For me, it does. I'm on Xbox.
I think the beta was for like the initial first wave of people who were able to guide people. Like if your clan had like a high rating, you got invited to that, like the top however many percent.
Mhm.
And I mean, either way, it's still in beta. I feel regardless. So
Yeah.
Because I was
Until
thinking
more
maybe
people start guiding.
maybe if it's
Yeah.
still in beta, then the sample pool is small, and maybe that's why you have the long wait times. But if it would be neat to see how many people are queuing up for that on both sides, raid
Yeah.
teams and singles or doubles looking for a raid, because this was like Bungie's big thing they were bringing out, and it's like it has to work. Like they have to get this going because
Yeah.
their whole gripe about D1 was 65% of the people did not raid.
I feel like it was way higher actually. Honestly,
I would have to agree with you, but I'm trying to think about what Luke said when he was on the on his stage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they got to get that working. It has to be better.
Yeah.
I've had a discussion about this, previously discussed this. The way to make guided games actually work and do really well for those, for people to seek out people to help, is having rewards for those people that are, offering their services to people.
Yes.
Right now, there is no reward. There's no incentive other than just helping someone, you know?
You get an
Right.
emblem.
So
I thought you get an emblem if you
you
help
get
someone.
tokens.
I saw it.
I haven't seen an emblem at all. I did one Nightfall guided games and didn't get anything, but there was no indication that you get anything.
Or the guy?
I was the guide. I was the guide.
Really?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
if they just made something, even if it was just cosmetic rewards,
Mm-hmm.
emblems, shaders,
Something
if
more
it's
than
something
what you
could
would
rank up,
normally get for completing
yeah.
it.
You need to give people incentive to help others, you know? You need to give people
Yeah.
incentive. The
Have a
incentive
good
is
heart.
supposed to be just needing one more person. That's supposed to be the incentive. But a lot of people don't actually need, like, just one more person. There are those groups. A lot of people would be more inclined to help if they actually got, like, rewards, like, in-game. So...
Yeah. There's a lot of people searching for a guide out there. So that's why the wait time is so long. 45 minutes. That's insane. Might as well just LFG somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Like on
join a
Destiny
clan.
It would be different if you could do patrols and stuff like that in that 45-minute wait.
That's
But
true.
just
Yeah.
sit there.
And that's where LFG is going to shine. It's, hey, I'm just going to post real quick here. I'm looking for somebody to take me through this. And while I'm waiting on a response, I'll go ahead and do patrol. Whereas Guided Games is like, I have to wait until somebody picks me up or I got to leave entirely.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe it might be one of those early things where it's like there are so many people out to get theirs right now when it comes to the raid, the nightfall, grinding up, that maybe there aren't a lot of clans going out there to try and help others, you know? Like
It's still early for saying, hey, let's go ahead and grab 2-3 extra people that we've never worked with before and run them through a raid.
right.
I still feel that, you know, the clans are working on getting their own science down.
Yeah.
Like, I still have yet to complete the raid once, and I've tried it with the current meta, and I've tried it with my old firing squad, and it always comes down to Callus and the whole somebody gets bumped over a barrier or this, that, the other thing, and we've tried the 3 and 3, we've tried the 4 and 2, we've tried every single strat possible, and it always comes down to one little thing messes up, and everybody has to wipe and reset. And if that mirrors anybody else's experience with the raids right now, or with the raid right now, that's definitely showing, hey, there's a lot of work here that the guides are probably working on right now before they can say, okay, we'll grab a blueberry or 2 and then let's bring them on through.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, once you got the raid down and you're in a clan, your party is going to be helping your clanmates, you know?
Right.
100%.
Yeah. That's true.
And you're
Well,
always going to have your clanmates, like, if you need one in most cases, if you need
Yeah.
a person. So that's where you're going to go to first.
Right.
Like, I feel like something that we do need to talk about right now is the raid and Trials of the Nine clan engrams. I
Okay,
feel
because
like
now
we should talk about that.
J Rams here, is that why you're bringing it up?
Yeah, that he was waiting.
Why? Why
No,
do you say that?
no, I
Do you
feel
think I'm
like
against
they-
it?
No, well,
No.
I'm 100%.
He wants your opinion.
I want everyone's opinion. Yeah, I'm 100% against this because, well, just to give some background history, I guess I can say. The clan engrams, let's say if your clan goes out and completes the raid and you can't come on, you would get a raid engram that would drop some raid loot or a Trials of the Nine loot. But it currently drops at 10 power light. I was okay with that. I was about 50-50 on it, but I was okay, I guess I can say, on that a few weeks ago here on the podcast. But now in this week's TWAB, it came out that that's a glitch. It's not supposed to drop at 10 power. It's supposed to drop closer to your power level. I have an issue with that. I have an issue with that because I feel like that's an easy reward for someone. Like, let's say we're all in a fire team. I mean, we're all in a clan, and let's say, I don't know, JRAM, you can't show up to the raid. So we complete the raid without you, and then you get a reward. Like, let's say I've been really trying to get the Midnight Coup, which is the hand cannon, and I've done the raid so many times, and you haven't even stepped foot into the raid, but you go to Hawthorne and get an engram, and boom, you get Midnight Coup in your first try, and it drops to like 3 or 5 power. That was probably a bad example, but it's an example that I have.
I get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
No, you got
I
it.
feel like a clan member who's never stepped foot into or anybody who's never stepped foot into the raid can still get rewards than someone who worked hard to get the reward. That's my stance on it.
I feel that the whole them announcing, oh yeah, the power level 10, that's a glitch. That should be how it is, in my opinion. Because if I'm like, so far I have not even touched Trials of the Night.
Yeah.
And I've gotten the clan engram for it every week, and I get it, and it's always level 10. And I'm like, I get it. I didn't do this activity. That's fine by me. I have this other shotgun that I'm going to infuse into it, make it a 295, whatever. That makes sense to me.
I did forget to say, I'm okay with it dropping at 10 power, but not
Okay,
close to your power.
Well, let me ask the question. What's the difference between it dropping at 10 and dropping at closer to your light?
Well, if it drops
either way, you can infuse it, and you got it near your light.
But you still have to work hard to infuse that. That's what I'm saying. You still have to go out and play the game and do activities.
Right.
So you don't have to play for a week, and your clan could play, and then you will still get a raid weapon. I feel like I'm okay if it's a Crucible reward and a Nightfall, but it should not be in-game content, raid and trials.
Yeah. I had this issue at the very beginning. A lot of it was salt because a lot of my clanmates were getting things that I still haven't got.
Right.
Yeah.
But like the raid weapons are designed to be like the best of the best as far as like the rolls on them, you know? Like the raid sword is the best sword you can get, you know?
No joke.
Like not having to do anything to get some of the best weapons in the game is I can't agree with that, you know? On a fundamental level, I can't agree with that. The armor doesn't give you any benefits, so that's okay.
Armor, though. That's what someone told me. It doesn't drop armor.
It doesn't?
That's what I was told. I haven't seen armor drop. I've only seen weapons.
So it's just weapons.
I've gotten the sword twice from both of the raid engrams, and so I've gotten 2 of the swords at 10, and it's like, okay, I keep getting the same thing. No big deal there for me. I really don't care. But you know, like Ramez is saying, you know, it is the best sword in game. Yeah. I've gotten 2 of them, and I have yet to complete the raid, but I've at least done some of the raid.
Yeah.
Well,
so I feel that you know, no big deal there. But if I was just sitting back and I'm like, I'm just gonna log in every Monday after they do their maintenance, get all this free gear, and then just not play again for another week, I
don't know. I think the leaders of several clans would have something else to say about that. If that were the case, but I think one of the things that my opinion has changed on the clan rewards significantly. Okay. Where the first week when everybody was like, I don't want everybody getting stuff that I got because they're in my clan, my opinion still stays the same. Like when you have a clan, that's mostly your friends or people that you're planning on playing with a lot. Like, so you would want them to have gear that would help them in the situations where if they went into the raid with you. However, the rolls on the weapons right now do not have anything that benefit you in the raid or in trials currently.
I could argue that.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The rocket launcher you get from the raid, cluster rocket launcher is one of the best CPS weapons for Callus. It is very hard to get outside of the raid. It is very hard to get outside of the raid. And so if you get it in the raid, you have one of the best CPS weapons right there for the raid or any boss in general. If you've seen some of the videos, the cluster launcher is ridiculous.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't had it drop for me, so I haven't even played with it. But I meant like an intrinsic perk, like it does better against Cabal or something along those lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of like the previous raids. But as I've gone on, I think Bungie missed a huge opportunity to make clan exclusive gear sets that would be extra content for people who are in clans and would encourage use and joining a clan rather than just giving out the trials or raid items. Where, say, somebody completes trials, there's like, you get an engram, you pick it up, it's a scout rifle you've never seen before. It's not in trials, it's not in the raid. It's not anywhere else in the game outside of the pool from Hawthorne for your clan.
Well, how about this, Dan? Now,
Okay.
you brought up a good point that maybe some weapons aren't as good in the raid. Like some of them perks are not as good, right? Is that what you said?
I'm just arguing for the intrinsic perk.
Well,
yeah.
But I'm saying, well, what if in the future? I'm thinking about the future. What if there's like a Gallahorn weapon that is exclusive from the raid and it drops in a clan engram? I'm thinking about the future also and the present.
Well, the second week the raid was out, they added 2 extra weapons to the weapon pool. Callus at the very end can drop the hand cannon and the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle isn't that great, but the hand cannon is pretty good. To my knowledge, you cannot get either of those weapons from the clan engrams. I have not heard of anyone getting hand cannon or sniper from those engrams. So I think I wouldn't mind my teammates getting cool raid gear and weapons if you maybe reward people who complete the raid with more weapons that aren't accessible, like the hand cannon and the sniper rifle that you have to actually like earn in the raid. You know, if they keep doing that, I'll have no issue. Aside from like the power level stuff, but I mean, with the weapons, but I mean, you can live with that, I guess.
Why they just didn't keep it at 10 power? I don't see why it has to drop closer to your power level, because you don't have to do anything. Like, you just sit in orbit, and like your team could be in there for 6 hours, and the one person, hey, I just got on. It's my first time playing in like 4 weeks, and oh wow, I got the Sins of Past. That's the rocket launcher, right?
Yeah.
I haven't even stepped foot in the raid. Time to log off.
Once again, I think that's up to your clan leader to decide if you haven't logged in 4 weeks, if you're still in that clan.
But even so, like I said before, who cares if it drops at 10 or if it drops at 305? The fact of the matter is, if it drops at 10, let's hypothetically say it's the rocket launcher, right? You got a rocket launcher right now that has the worst recoil or the worst reload in the game, but it's 305. Okay, you've never done the raid. It's already a month and a half into this game, and all of a sudden look, they did the raid. I go get this package, and it's the rocket launcher, drops at 10. All you do is infuse your 305 into the 10. It's like you just got it dropped at 305. The infusion thing is not. That's not the issue. I think that you're concerned with. I think you just don't like the fact that people weren't completing the necessary requirements to achieve that stuff.
It's both, because what if you don't have that rocket launcher?
Right,
like,
and
what if you don't have the infusion?
Totally
you still have to, but it still gives you incentive to play the game. You still have to play the game to infuse.
There you go.
I want people to play the game.
You just nailed it.
So
by them giving out this gear, regardless of light level, what incentive does that give that individual to go in and play that activity? So it's not a light level thing. It's if we're giving them loot for doing nothing, what's the incentive of going in there?
I guess the incentive is the armor and the unique weapons you can't get from the engrams then.
Right, but we are seeing the armor, or we are seeing weapons drop from these packages and gear. I got gear from it.
You got gear?
I got arms.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have arms right now, and they're pretty great.
It was really weird. It was like 260.
You guys can't see them.
I was like, I don't give a shit.
wearing arms.
I'm wearing 290 right now. I'll just flip it over. Easy.
Well, that goes into the whole with going back to the infusion kind of thing. Jerem, you got the arms that dropped at like 260. If you have something higher, just chuck it on in there. But when it comes to like the weaponry, that kind of infusion isn't always possible. And that comes back to how they started the new infusion process, where it's like, oh, hey, if you want to infuse an auto rifle, you have to have an auto rifle. And at that point, that goes into the grind where Jay's talking about, hey, you have to play the game to get stuff so that you can infuse.
Yeah, but you don't have to play the end game to get that stuff.
Right, you don't have to play the end game. But let's say, for instance,
go do your public events right now.
Yeah, let's say RNGCast doesn't ever give me a rocket launcher, and all of a sudden, hey, Clan Ingram, I get this 10 from the raid. I'm not going to do jack with that 10 until I get a higher level rocket launcher. And I feel that it dropping at 10 is a smarter idea, because let's say, RNGesus isn't being friendly and he doesn't give you that rocket launcher. So this isn't, oh, hey, here's the best item in the game. Go wreak havoc with it because it's your light level. It's, oh, hey, it's a 10. You don't want to use it because you got nothing to infuse into it.
Then it's just a waiting game.
Right. And
but
at that point, I would still feel that might drive them to some incentive more. Like, oh, hey,
already got
this
the gun.
is what I can get from it. Maybe I should go and do the raid because I can probably get it at a higher power.
What's a quicker route to get to the end? To what's the fastest way to get to the end? Grind out public events in hopes that you get that rocket launcher, or sit 45 minutes in a queue for guided games in a raid because you don't have any friends, and then finally get in a raid, but then you wipe 18 times a callus because somebody can't call out cop. Or somebody gets launched off a ramp. Bungie they've done an excellent job at making this game extremely accessible for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing they did. Whether or not you agree with that design philosophy is an entirely different argument. All right? Which I think what I'm feeling and what I'm sensing is we want to share the rewards that we've accomplished with all of our friends, but at the same time, you don't want to share that one thing you got. Because you did that, and you can. That's a badge of honor for you.
Now, here's my question. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say my solution, and I this isn't mine personally. Tons of people before me have said this. Drop luminous engrams. That way, they can get up to a light level where they can get into the raid and say, "Hey, listen, there's no excuse now. We have guided games for you. There are third-party websites. We're giving you loot that will make you." At least powerful enough to deal with these enemies in the raid. It's your job to take that step to get into the raid. They've provided opportunities, but just by giving everything away, Bungie, for me, and this is just my personal opinion, and I'm probably going to get blowback for this. It's that everybody gets a trophy. We don't want anybody left out. And I'm going to pat you on the head at the end of the night, mentality. That's what it is. And if that's the game Bungie wants to make, fine. Because I love the game. I'm playing with my friends. We are all extremely... I play with the same type of people that have my type of attitude. Which I don't know if that's good or bad. We're all extremely competitive. We're all competitive. And we like... But see, we like that pressure type situation.
Yeah.
We like knowing that if I die, there's 5 other guys in my clan I can count on to take my spot and be that hero. How many times have you done, the Callus raid where it's like, you hit that one little bump and you have no idea why, but you're launched and you're flying through and you're like, shit, it's a wipe. It's a wipe. Just wipe it.
Yeah.
See, I don't have to worry about that with my guys because we're all extremely competitive. We make sure that every single time we do encounters, somebody does something different. So we all learn the different techniques to it.
Yeah.
That's just us,
That's good.
So I don't have, you know what I mean? And I don't have a problem with people getting the endgame gear in an engram because I understand their philosophy now, which is we want to make it accessible. We don't want anybody crying at the end of the night because there was a lot of crying at the end of the night in E1.
Yeah.
There was.
So here's my
and maybe that's why there's a lack of endgame content right now. Maybe. I'm just saying maybe because they want to make sure everybody can do everything. And us hardcore people, we want that we want that tip of the iceberg. We want that edge, and right now they sacrifice the people who keep this game going via Twitch, Trials of Osiris and D1 and all that stuff. They're sacrificing catering to that small population to reach the bigger mass. And hey, listen, it's their game. It's their money. It's their philosophy. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. And I'm cool with that. So when it comes to Jay, to answer your question, how do I feel about giving raid loot out? I don't care. Because I know at the end of the day, the shit I got on my back is the shit I got from me. I did it. And I can go to bed pretty well.
I have mixed feelings on that. The content creators catering thing, but going back to the raid loot, how would you feel if it drops like prestige mode? Like, what if it's just locked to normal loot only?
Dude, it doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter. The more that I say, hell, the more the merrier.
It doesn't
Whatever.
matter, but it would make me feel happier. It would please the hardcore people if there was stuff that only like the top 1% could get.
And I
Like
agree
the Adept.
100% with you. I wish that's what they did.
Yeah.
I wish there was that shader that you can. It was a universal shader. You can apply it to everything, and you can never delete it. But it was the raid hard mode raid shader. That would be cool.
And I don't think the casual people would be upset about that. The hardcore people getting that thing, you know?
You're right. I would definitely agree with that statement.
Kind of like you doing a what was it, an adept gun from Trials of Osiris. You know, it had the same perks as, you know, the non-adept version or whatever, but it had a different color scheme to it.
I think those did have one extra perk.
Yeah, they had like one extra little bit.
It was like a
tweak to it.
Yeah, like you can aim it faster, or
some
you know,
but even
eyesight
something along those lines where, hey, if you went and earned this, great. Here's that, you know, hair of an edge. Whereas if you didn't go and earn it, then hey, here's just the base model.
Yeah, they've made an amazing game for casual players, and don't take that as I'm saying casual people are dicks, because they're not. It's a different design philosophy, and they made an amazing game for that. For us hardcore people, it sucks because when there's a content drought, guess who are the ones that are going to still be playing the game, and guess who are the ones that are still going to be fighting for this game to be good? Not the casual player. And I hope to God they recognize that shit, because that's what it's all about. We are the ones that keep this thing afloat. We were the ones that were still doing Taken King 3 times a week for a year.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Think about how many people fell off.
Yeah.
And then you give them all this free gear. What's the incentive to keep grinding out for that gear when there's a content drought? There is no incentive.
The one plus side I've found with how easy it is to level is that I'm actually going to be able to maintain 3 different characters on 3 different platforms because of how easy it is to level up. That is the one benefit I've found.
That is, yeah.
Wait a
I
second.
do agree on that part.
Wait a second. You're gonna play 3 characters on every platform?
He's going 9 people. Yep.
Oh my God. That is
Going hardcore in a casual game.
Yeah.
you know, if you maintain that, your hair is gonna start to look like mine.
Or it's going to start turning gray. One of the two.
Yeah.
But no, JRAM, if I had the 3 consoles, I'd probably be doing the same thing as Ramez. I would be running 9 characters.
Oh, I wish I had the time.
And the content is just that fun, though. Like doing public events, doing strikes, doing Nightfall. Like, the content is that fun to where I enjoy doing all that stuff, like, on each of my characters every week.
These strikes in this game are badass. I love them.
Have you done the Nightfall this week, JRAM?
Yeah. Oh, the Nightfall was great because you felt powerful. You felt like you went in there and just started ripping faces off. You know, because your abilities and everything spawn so quickly. The strikes are awesome because they actually engage you. You know, and you feel like you're actually moving through a living, breathing ecosystem because you transfer from you know, maybe outside to inside of a building down into the caves. I mean, it's awesome. The problem is there's nothing. Why do it?
Yeah.
Like there's no incentive.
Yeah, they missed a huge opportunity to actually integrate those strikes into the story.
Yeah, Dan, you
and
nailed
get everybody playing it.
You nailed it, man. And D1, and I hate comparing this to D1 because we're supposed to, I mean, that chapter in the book is closed, but we still have it open. But yeah, you're right. And D1, Earth, once you hit level 8, you can go ahead and do Sepix Prime.
Yeah.
And it's always there.
Yeah, it's always there. And that was a cool strike. I mean, it was a cool thing to do because I remember the first time you played that Devil Walker thing, that spider tank. And it was like, holy shit, what is this? I remember shooting its face for an hour and a half thinking, this sucks. And then I happened to hit a leg and I saw the little...
Wait. An hour and a half.
Maybe I'm exaggerating.
But it felt like it at the time.
But it felt like it.
Yeah.
And I remember playing with my younger brother. I'm like, this sucks, dude. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I had a yellow numbers. And he goes, what did you hit? I'm like, I think I hit his leg. And he starts shooting his leg and you're like, oh my God, there's a critical spot on this guy. And it's like, you don't have that discover anymore. I was watching today. An older video. I'm sorry, Dan.
It only took us 2.5 more hours to knock down all of the legs.
I was watching a video today on it was by Skill Up. You guys familiar with that YouTuber?
Yes.
Awesome dude, man. I love his videos. He's extremely thoughtful, and I like how he actually incorporates like business model ethics or psychological theories into his videos. It gives it much more of an intellectual vibe to it. Mm-hmm. And he had a video of a guy that got the Gallahorn for the first time. Name a moment in D2 where it's kind of comparable to that. Think about when you got that exotic, when you got that one gun. It doesn't have to be an exotic, but you got that one gun and you were like, I got it.
My first exotic was the tractor cannon that I got from Zavala. And I went around for the next 3-4 hours just booping everything. I will say that is my Gallahorn moment.
I remember that, Dan.
All right, Jay, what is your Gallahorn moment in D2?
Surprisingly, the Nameless Midnight, because I dismantled mine because I hate Scott rifles. I hated them in D1. So when I got one in D2, I dismantled it, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, why? It's so good!" And I was happy to get it back. So I guess that's my Gallahorn. Other than that, I didn't have any.
Rathos?
I'm gonna have to go with the endgame sword. Finishing the storyline and being given what has become one of my absolutely favorite weapon types, honestly. I loved that they brought swords in on the Taken King, and I've been obsessed with them since. And just, hey, you completed the storyline, here's a sword. I was like, wait, really? I thought I would have to go off of some other tangent, some other quest line, and that big, heavy broadsword for the Titan, just like, it is perfect. It epitomizes it. Whereas, the Warlock has like a scimitar and the Hunter has a katana, and they all run differently. But just, I got that sword and I started running around in the EDZ and just looking like a knight, essentially, just hulking about, carrying this big metal stick that I'm just like, I'm going to screw up the first thing I come across. That was fun. That was absolutely awesome, in my opinion.
Ramez, what about you?
I don't know if there was anything that could ever come close to me getting the G-Horn, or for me it was the Hawk Moon. It was a huge moment when I got the Hawk Moon. In D2, I don't know if there were any weapons that just I was so happy and excited to get. Raid Sword was probably like the closest, and it'll probably be the Raid Hand Cannon once I get that eventually. But the feeling that has stuck out with me the most was the very first Bureau raid I did. It was probably the only thing comparable to like that feeling I got of excitement, was spending 8 hours with 5 completely random people to do my first Bureau raid. That was the only thing that gave me as close of an excitement level as getting the G-Horn was helping like just those strangers get it done in that 8 hours. As far as the weapons, because you get so many exotic weapons, and none of them really have stood out that much to me, honestly, sadly. So I'm hoping to get that feeling back.
Me too. For me, it was the Scathe Lock. And the only reason why I kind of had a little bit of excitement is because I didn't have to use those whack-ass pulse rifles anymore. Like, all I got to drop was pulse rifles. I'm like, this is bullshit, man. And then I finally got an auto rifle.
You and I both are like, hey, auto rifle? Okay, let's go. We're done.
Yeah.
Do you run the war rig?
No.
It's the Actum war rig. It's the chest piece exotic for the Titan that if you're running...
yeah.
Of course you're running that.
Duh. And a lot of the feeling with getting G-Horn was like everyone knew there was that go-to weapon. Like, is there really that go-to weapon in D2 that you must have? Like, does that weapon exist?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think there is, and I don't know if that's a testament to are the weapons diverse enough? B, maybe because the weapons are, and I'm quotations, balanced, or C, are they just that bland?
So hold on, maybe a couple of the weapons that I can think of: Merciless and Cold Heart. Merciless has like really great damage potential, and Cold Heart for a weapon that we got for pre-ordering the game is really great.
I'm going to mention something about Cold Heart in a minute.
Go ahead. I'm done. I was just saying how great they were.
It was not limited to pre-order.
Hmm?
Well, no, they'll open it up.
No, it's already been opened
December.
up. No, I'm
What?
dead serious. I have a friend that bought Destiny 2 last week, cracked an engram, got Cold Heart.
Really?
Did
Good
not
for
pre-order it.
them.
Did not pre-order it, and so I'm like, okay, so I'm now feeling a little gypped because
Hold on.
Question.
Ray,
I do
is
have
this the same guy that bought oceanfront property in Arizona?
No,
All right.
No.
Oh my god.
this
I do have a
this
question,
is a kid who is in my old clan, who didn't have his PS4. He had a PS4, but he was a little broke, so he couldn't buy Destiny 2. Didn't pre-order it, bought it after the fact, and got Cold Heart.
You know
Where
what?
did he buy it? Did he buy it off the PSN store or from GameStop or something?
Right.
Because if he bought it from GameStop or something, the code will come in there, even if he did not pre-order.
No, he bought it through, I think it was just Walmart. Just bought it
doesn't
at
matter.
Walmart.
Still,
and
it's still.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing: he wasn't like given any code. He just cracked a regular engram and got Cold Heart. He cracked an exotic engram and got Cold Heart. And I'm like, okay, so you didn't pre-order it. Why, when I pre-ordered it, I didn't get it from a vendor? I had to actually crack an exotic engram and then get it.
Are you sure it wasn't Hardlight? Because whenever I have Hardlight in my inventory, I keep accidentally
It's-
using Hardlight instead of Cold Heart. Because they look exactly the same. If you look at the
Because
image
we
of
were
Cold Heart and
running
Hardlight, they look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do look exactly the same, but I'm telling you, it is Cold Heart because we were running raid, and he's like, okay, let me pull this out and start shooting a beam. I'm like, whoa, you didn't pre-order it. He goes, oh, I know, I got it the other day when I cracked an exotic. What?
Who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying, it's already in the loophole. There's no, oh, you got to wait until December. No, it's already there.
Yeah.
That's small ramen.
I'm just really curious about how that worked. I'm sure I'll ask somebody. I'm like still curious, but yeah.
Can we talk about
I was gonna change
Vault-
topic, but go.
can we talk about Vault Space?
Yeah, we kind of touched on this last week, and I still don't have an issue with Vault Space. Surprisingly.
I do.
Okay.
I came up with one. If all of the guns are static rolls, why do we need vaults?
Because as a player, one character can only hold 10 items per slot. That is
Right.
30. That's 30 weapons.
Right.
Now, obviously, with 3 characters, that's 90 weapons. Now, for the casual gamer, they're only going to have one character, and they're not going to carry around a full inventory at all times. And I myself, I use Dim, so it's like, oh, hey,
Right.
I'm going to be running with at least 3 kinetics, not including the one I have equipped, 3 energies, not including the one I have equipped, and then 3 heavies, not that I have equipped. Everything else, I can say, okay, I just need this real quick, bounce it out, bounce it in, whatever have you. That's why we would have vault space. For a casual gamer
Okay.
who doesn't know about Dim, that doesn't want to carry a whole arsenal with them at all times, maybe that'll be useful for them.
Right.
We don't need
That-
200 slots in a vault, don't get me wrong, because hey, all the rolls are static,
Right.
but it's there.
My issue is more so everything has a static roll. We used to have kiosks that we could go and grab anything from that didn't rely on RNG when it came to exotic weapons or armor pieces. If we and those items had static rolls. If we take that same mentality and put it toward that, would that not be a better case for the loot that we have in the game? Say I have a better Devils, my vault, quote unquote, is broken up into hand cannons, auto rifles, scout rifles, etc. for the primary. I have a better Devils on one character. I then go to the vault. Hey, shows that I've collected one. I can then pull that out on another character and infuse that up with an item that I've ground with at 200 light. That I thought of that this morning just on a whim and wonder why we don't have that instead of the vault system that we have now. I feel like it would be a better implementation of that space rather than just having something that we can dip in, like throw these static rolls into.
Well, I feel like, going from what Dr. Lupo said last week, like he uses the vault space for armor. I mean, not armor. Sorry, shaders and mods.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why it's like 200 pages. But I'm still a bit confused as to what you're saying. Are you saying like a legendary kiosk that you?
I'm saying set it up like a kiosk with all the different roles, because there's only so many guns in this game. I'm pretty sure most of us here on this podcast have probably collected 10 of each.
But wouldn't that cut the grind down? Like, let's say, like for me, for example, when I got my Nameless Midnight, I dismantled it. And then I realized I was stupid for that, so I went back and I kept playing the game more, so I can get another Nameless Midnight rather than having to go pick it up from a kiosk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now, as we've been playing for 4 weeks, we've probably gotten all the guns that are in this game, though. Like, it wouldn't stop the grind because you'd still have to infuse into it. But I don't know.
They don't want
I feel like I just killed everything. Say what?
That was J-Ram being salty.
I feel like having the idea of only being limited to a certain amount of weapons, like on your person, and having a limited amount of vault space is supposed to give you the idea of your weapons and gear being tangible, even though they aren't. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're in your vault. They're there. They're physically there. You know, they're not just like digital things, you know, they're physically there, and so it's limited, so it's there to like give you that sense of realism to a degree.
But before, you'd have like 4 or 5 different AS Lunas that you could get, or like an infinite amount of AS Lunas that you could get, and you're like, this one I'm going to keep because it has that one perk that I really like and that I can keep competitive. Now you only have one version of that, so why would you, like, I don't know. I feel like that space could be used for something else.
I'm definitely running out of mod space.
I run out
for sure.
all the time.
Mod space thing is, I feel, is a huge issue. Honestly,
I think mods themselves are a huge issue. They're not that fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yes, I like them to like increase the power of my weapons.
Right, but they should. I mean, they should have at least 2 mod slots per thing.
I would like that.
That way, it gives you some variety.
Yeah.
And right now, Glimmer and the legendary shards, they're only good for mods. Nothing else.
Yeah.
So it would be cool it would be nice to have options to use that stuff, but yeah, the mods just aren't that fun. And then now you gotta, I mean, anybody can figure out how to get kinetic mods. Kinetic mods are hard to get. Now they're easy. I mean, all you gotta do is just break down purple mods. That's it.
Well, I barely get them.
Hopefully they bring back like the fun effects of artifacts in the form of like exotic mods, hopefully.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Why doesn't Xur sell exotic mods?
Or even like the ones that you could those artifacts you could buy from the store that like gave you like weird effects like for your game and stuff. Like stuff like that being mods for your guns that would maybe give weird effects for your guns. Like maybe your gun could have a mod and make it shoot paintballs instead or something, or change like the effect of the gun without like changing what it does.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like Bungie said, they're still improving this game. It will take time. I do know that, but hopefully by the time this game is over, I'm not saying it's going to change a lot, but it is going to change. But I do have a question. I think this is going to be my last question for the night, and then we can wrap up. Do you guys think the first expansion is going to bring a raid?
Oh,
what's the first expansion called?
Curse of Osiris.
I hope. That implies PvP.
Oh no! It's definitely gonna have a PvE element. Us going out to Final Cyrus. That's what the description says. Like I was really going through the description, reading it, and seeing all the activities listed, and for some reason, I just have a feeling the first expansion's not gonna bring a raid. I would like for it to, of course.
If they're gonna have to have some sort of end game activity, or else it's gonna be a massive misstep, man.
Well, you saw what happened with House of Wolves. Like, thank God for Trials, but like, if it wasn't for Trials, House of Wolves would have been.
Let's go kill Skolas, guys.
Oh,
No. Hard pass. Wait, do you have Galahorn? Okay, then you're allowed in.
5 hours later.
Yeah.
I would like for it to bring a raid though, but
Make it a raid on Mercury.
yeah.
You know, we go to the planet that's half cracked, half shattered because of, you know, the ship and us wandering around that. Maybe because it's all screwed up. I mean, Mercury, we already had some interesting maps, you know, from D1 for Crucible. Mess with the gravity aspect of it. Make it so, hey, half the planet's missing. Guess what? It doesn't have that mass. Gravity is going to be less. You're going to jump higher. You're going to glide a little farther, that kind of a thing. And then implement that into a raid aspect. Make it so that we're trying to get down. We're looking for Osiris, like you're saying, is what the whole expansion's about. Maybe we find Osiris and he's like, oh, yeah, I need this extra thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need this thing. Like Ashramir's like, hey, go find my arm. Have it so that, hey, this raid is going to be, the mechanics of it are going to be different because, hey, you're on a planet that's half there. The gravity's not going to work normally. And if you jump too high, you're going to take fall damage. Do it so that, you know, maybe we can move a little bit faster because there isn't that gravity holding us back. I don't know. Just hypothesizing. Brainstorming.
One more question I do have is I had a crazy thought on Sunday. So looking at the story in the game, all right, I promise you this is my final question. Looking at the story in the game,
That's what you said last time.
I know, but it's good. It's
How
good.
many final questions do you have?
Trust me, it's a good question. It's gonna make you chuckle. How would you guys feel if the September 2018 expansion is called The Taken Queen because of Savathun? Or it deals with the Taken.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you on about?
Never mind, forget it. That was my final question.
Was that supposed to be a joke?
No, I was being serious because
Well, what is it?
Savathun. Do you guys, if it is, all right, let's say the September 2018 expansion is about the Taken.
Oh, you're talking about, I'm sorry, you're talking about next year.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so September of 2018 expansion. I have a feeling it is going to be about the Taken because of Savathun. Do you guys think that would be a bad idea for them to go through? Do you think that would give them, like, people would criticize that? Well, people are going to criticize anything, but still.
Anything right now. I'd say no. Like, it should be, like, it would be fine to dip back in, as long as there's other in-game material in the form of raids that aren't also Hive.
I'm just, like, thinking about the reviews that it may get. Like, if it is a Taken expansion, like, similar to the Taken King, how we had Taken King of the September of 2015. If they pull that same thing of September of 2018 and it is the Taken again, I feel like that would get some criticism. It's just a thought I had on Sunday.
It would definitely get criticism because it's like, oh, hey, they're just wash rinsing and repeating now.
Yeah,
I feel like
we're recycling it all over again.
Yeah,
I feel like we're maybe neck deep in speculation here.
Listen, I was just saying. I just had a thought, but yeah.
People are going to criticize no matter what. There were people who were telling me that they thought DT was more of the same because there wasn't a brand new race, you know? They thought, like, because a lot of the enemy types are the same, that was just, like, the clone of D1, you know? So people are going to complain, like, no matter what.
True. Yeah.
One of my friends hypothesized that they're going to be bringing in a 4th character class. And he wants it to be... what's the element? Poison. He wants it green.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
have it. have it so that it's like, okay, you have your Night Stalker Void, you have your Solar everything, you have your Arc. Let's go ahead and give it a green poison. And I think that'd be interesting to see, but I don't know.
I mean, we'd have to see what that did. I mean, you have the Thorn. You remember Thorn?
Who doesn't remember Thorn?
Yeah, the DOT on that, like having a poison class and trying to balance that as well. Ugh, I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you, Ramez, for joining us this week. We had an
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
Right. Yeah. So, where can you find you on social media, man?
Just on Twitter and on Twitch at Ramez05. That's it.
All right. Sweet. Rathos.
You just said it. I'm gonna. It's my answer every single time. It is Rathos everywhere you go.
Everywhere.
Everywhere you go.
Is that one word, Rathos everywhere you go?
Nope, just Rathos.
Yes,
Okay.
Rathos everywhere you go. He even puts that on his lattes at Starbucks.
Yep, because that is where I go.
Yeah. Even on that one site.
Even on that one site, yeah.
On that one site.
We'll even go back to that one site, and yes, it is Rathos.
Is it Etsy? Is that site Etsy?
No,
Nope.
it's you know the site,
No?
Dan. You know the site.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is it in an incognito tab?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always
Okay, then I know what you're talking about.
exactly.
Jay Ram, where can you find you on social media, man?
You can find me at Rathos everywhere you go at jram.com. No, I'm gonna echo what Rathos said. J_Rambo9119. That's everywhere. So come check me out.
Yep. All right, Dan.
I am Danfinity on Twitch. I am Danfinitwitch on Twitter. Figure it out.
And he is Danfinity everywhere you go on that other site.
I'm also in this chair sweating to death. And I love you all.
I thought you had a fan for that, Dan.
Oh, I do, but Jay doesn't want me to turn it on because of sound.
So he's nude.
I am completely naked right now. I am like Jim Carrey inside the rhinoceros.
Listen, Dan.
I
we
had
don't
to
pay
put
for
on clothes
hospital
for this
bills here
podcast.
at DTR.
Ramez, what did you say?
I had to put on clothes for this podcast. My off days are my naked days, too.
Now we're talking.
See, that's why this is all also posted on that other site.
Pretty much.
So somebody types in Ramez05 nude, and just the end of this podcast comes up.
It's like, yep, there it is.
Yeah. So yeah.
You got Jay flustered.
You guys can find me on Twitter at J_DTR and Destiny Tracker on Twitch at Destiny Tracker and on YouTube at Destiny Tracker. Guys, we're gonna start up our new giveaway next week here on the podcast because we are at our 1-year anniversary here on the podcast, which I'm super excited for. Wow, I cannot believe we've been doing this for 1 year. It's been a crazy roller coaster, and I'm so happy to continue it on for our 2nd year.
I'm a little stoked to what might be happening in about 3 months, but I'll go into details about that later.
Alright.
What's going on in 3 months?
Yeah.
No, you tell me right now.
I'll tell you after the podcast, sir.
Okay.
No, you tell all this right now.
Question
tell you
before we
after the
leave.
podcast.
Before
Yeah.
we leave, question. Jay, where's your wig?
I mentioned it. I told you. I told you.
Don't think I forgot.
I'm waiting for Dan to ship it to me.
I told you 2 weeks ago that that was not going to happen. That you would have to find your own wig.
We'll talk after the show, Dan, and everyone
Okay.
else.
All right.
All right,
right,
guys.
Let's talk this out.
Thank you for watching the 47th episode of the DTR podcast. Next week, we will return with a special guest. I'm super excited. And all month long of October, we're going to have awesome guests. But I will reveal that next week. All right, guys. See you all next week. Bye.
Later.
See ya.
Bye.
Take care, Guardians.